For 3 months, we've followed a county line from Liverpool to North Wales, with teenage drug runners moving heroin and crack hundreds of miles every week.
A vulnerable woman in her 30s, mental health problems, substance misuse history. Living alone in a council flat on an estate in a city the Home Office's own drug crime mapping has flagged as one of the most saturated with Class A distribution networks in the country. A knock on her door. Men she doesn't know who make a proposition that isn't really a proposition. It's a statement. They need the flat, not to buy it, not to rent it, to use it as a base for drug distribution. And she has a choice, except she doesn't. Within a week, her front room is a dealing hub. Her kitchen table has scales on it. Her sofa has men she has never met sitting on it for 18 hours at a time. She is still there, in her own home, which is no longer hers. This is cuckooing. This is what county lines drug networks mean in practice for the communities they enter. Not just the drug dealing on the corner. The physical occupation of people's homes, documented by the NCA, prosecuted in courts across Britain, identified in the county line's strategic threat assessment as affecting thousands of vulnerable adults every year, 44% of whom are women, many of whom have mental health and substance misuse issues. When the drug lord takes over a street, it doesn't always look like a war zone. Sometimes it looks like a flat with the curtains closed, a woman who stopped answering her door, and neighbours who know better than to call the police because they've seen what happens when someone does. This is why the phrase no-go zone gets used about certain postcodes in certain cities. Not because the British Army has drawn a perimeter, but because residents who live inside those postcodes make daily calculations about which routes they walk, which hours they go out, and who they make eye contact with. That's why British Front Media exists. Subscribe now, because what follows is the complete picture. Reason number 1. Liverpool is now Britain's drug crime capital. More than 15 drug offences per 1,000 residents in 2025, a 19% rise in a single year, with over 20 drug crimes recorded every single day. This data was published 2 weeks ago and has received almost no national coverage. Liverpool recorded more than 15 drug offences per 1,000 residents in 2025, the highest rate anywhere in the country, with 7,770 recorded drug crimes over the year, a 19% increase. That is more than 20 drug crimes every single day. Detectives confirmed that serious organised crime gangs are behind many of the offences, which escalate to violence, weapons crimes and gun murders. Liverpool is not an anomaly in Britain's drug geography. It is the worst point on a map that includes Westminster at above 13 per 1,000, Manchester at more than 11 per 1,000, and a string of London boroughs, Islington, Hackney, Kensington and Chelsea, Tower Hamlets and Brent, all recording rates above 8 per 1,000, alongside Knowsley and Salford beyond the capital. 12 distinct urban areas where in some postcodes, roughly 1 in every 65 residents was caught up in drug-related crime in the course of a single year. Reason number 2, there are over 6,500 county lines in operation across England, Scotland and Wales, with 73.5% of offenders known for violence or weapons offences and 11,600 children estimated at risk of exploitation. The strategic scale is confirmed by the latest County Lines Strategic Threat Assessment. Covering the period from April 2024 to March 2025, the National Police Chiefs Council and National County Lines Coordination Centre confirmed there are over 6,500 county lines in operation across England, Scotland and Wales. Each of those 6,500 lines is a mobile phone number used to take drug orders, a deal line connecting a criminal principal to a customer base, operated through a network of coerced runners who move product between an exporting city and an importing community. 73.5% of county lines offenders are known for violence or weapons offences. Violence is not a side effect of county lines. It is its enforcement mechanism. And the people doing the enforcing are, in many cases, children. The assessment estimates 11,600 children of both sexes and all ages are going missing and at risk of exploitation. with boys aged 15 to 17 most commonly coerced into drug distribution roles. When a drug lord takes over a postcode, he does not arrive himself. He sends a 15-year-old first. Reason number 3. The NCA confirmed that importing areas, the communities where county lines networks deliver drugs, are reporting increased violence and weapons-related crime as a direct consequence of gang entry. This is the mechanism behind the community fear that drives the language of no-go zones. Importing areas, the towns and neighbourhoods where drugs are delivered to by county lines networks from exporting cities, are reporting increased levels of violence and weapons-related crimes as a result of this trend, according to the NCA's own description of the county lines threat. The violence is not incidental, it is structural. When a new drug line enters a community, it either displaces an existing network through intimidation, violence, or the murder of competitors, or it establishes new enforcement through the same tools. Knife crime follows the line, firearms follow the line, and the residents who live on the streets where that competition is resolved find themselves navigating a neighbourhood whose risk profile has changed entirely without any planning application, any community consultation, or any announcement. Reason number 4. 3 murders in Liverpool linked to drug gang warfare, Olivia Pratt-Corbell, Ashley Dale and Elle Edwards, show what the data's violence statistics mean at the level of individual human lives. The statistics have names. In August 2022, Ashley Dale, 28, was killed by a bullet from a submachine gun in her own Liverpool home after a drugs gang burst in looking for her boyfriend. The same month, 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Corbell was shot dead in her home by gunman Thomas Cashman, a bullet intended for a drug runner who had fled through her front door. In December of the same year, Elle Edwards, 26, was shot dead outside a pub in Wallasey after being caught in crossfire between the city's warring drug gangs. 3 deaths, 3 people who had no involvement in the drug trade, 2 of them in their own homes, 1 shot next to a pub on an ordinary evening. This is the cost of a postcode becoming a gang battlefield, not to the gang members, but to the people who already lived there when the gang arrived. Reason number 5. Merseyside's Project Medusa closed 460 drug lines and made 1,334 arrests in a single year, producing 894 years of custodial sentences and seizing 197 knives and 107 other weapons, including firearms. The enforcement response in Britain's worst affected city is producing results that would have been unimaginable 5 years ago. Between April 2025 and March 2026, Merseyside Police's Project Medusa successfully closed 460 drug lines, made 1,334 arrests, seized 252.5 kilograms of controlled drugs, recovered 197 knives and 107 other weapons including firearms, and confiscated £795,000 in cash and criminal assets. Of those arrested, 90% were charged. 302 offenders were convicted, with 241 custodial sentences, producing a combined total of 894 years in prison. DCY Gary Stratton stated plainly, "County lines criminality causes significant harm to our communities, exploiting young people, targeting the vulnerable and fueling serious violence. Behind every line closed is a life protected from exploitation and harm." 460 lines closed, 900 miles away from where the cocaine that stocked them was packaged, 14,000 phone calls that no longer connect to a dealer, and a city that still recorded more than 20 drug crimes per day in 2025, despite everything. Reason number 6. The government committed £34 million to the County Lines programme in 2026/27, and the Crime and Policing Bill makes child criminal exploitation a criminal offence for the first time in British legal history. The legislative response is finally catching up to the operational reality. The government has committed more than £34 million in the 2026-27 financial year to the County Lines programme, targeting exploitative drug dealing gangs and providing specialist support for children to escape criminal exploitation. And the Crime and Policing Bill includes measures making child criminal exploitation a criminal offence, for the first time giving prosecutors a direct charge to bring against adults who recruit, groom and coerce children into drug running, rather than relying on supply charges that often leave the exploitation mechanism legally invisible. Crime Minister Sarah Jones described county lines with a precision that cuts through every euphemism. The exploitation of children and vulnerable people in this way is disgusting and cowardly. And 1,120 senior gang members were charged in the 12 months to July 2025, the highest annual figure since the County Lines programme began in 2019. So here is where Britain stands in July 2026. Liverpool. 15 drug offences per 1,000 residents, the highest in the country, up 19% in 1 year. Westminster, Manchester, Islington, Hackney, Tower Hamlets, Kensington, Brent, Knowsley, Salford, each above 8 per 1,000. 6,500 active county lines, 11,600 children at risk, 73% of offenders known for violence, a 15-year-old doing the delivery while the man who sent him stays clean, a woman with mental health problems whose flat is no longer hers, Olivia Pratt-Corbell, 9 years old, shot in her own home, 460 lines closed by Merseyside police in 1 year, and Liverpool still the worst drug crime city in Britain when the year ended. The drug lords have not taken over in the way the movies show. They have taken over one flat at a time, one phone number at a time, one frightened 15-year-old at a time. And they keep doing it because the demand has not been reduced, the poverty that makes recruitment easy has not been addressed, and 6,500 lines is a number that 460 closures per year has not yet begun to mathematically defeat. Subscribe to British Front Media.